Hey everybody, this is Ryan speaking. We're gonna finish up Shelly today. Well, honestly, she has been finished for a while. I just haven't made a video. But continuing on from part 9, I've added the rest of her sounds, which are more or less voices, clips, and other various sound effects into her. And here's to show you what it looks like quickly. Um, so I've added the sound effects to her. I've done some rebalancing on certain things. I'll show that to you in a second. So, that's the charge sound. Here's Earth. This is Ice Arrow. This is Wind. And add the voice as well. So, she sounds better now. So that's very good on her end. Let's erase this up here. So a few fixes that I did. First, I'll begin with the major one. In the previous video, I showed a code on creating a range between two values. This was used for the Earth projectile, which are those Earth rocks that move up. I'll just show it to you again quickly, so you know what I'm talking about here. All these rock projectiles being created within this range, moving upwards. Now, originally I had a code from SX Vector, but I got a code from Alexei, which is superior and more better. And this is the new code that I'm using. Alexei made a video for me, which I'm going to follow up right in a second, which will explain how this works. Well, he'll explain it to me, really. And it's more accurate than what SX Victor gave me to use, as this is a pure it gives an exact number range, whereas Victor had a off by one range. But yeah, this is definitely better. Here's Alexei's video right now. Enjoy.
Hi, my name's Alexei, and I'm here to show you and my friend Ryan how to generate a random range between -35 and 35. Right here I have the code on how to do it, but I'm going to delete this to show you the very basic from ground up how I got this far. And we're going to first start with the word random. This is a keyword in Mugen CNS that will generate a random number between 0 and 999. This is just a display to clipboard that will trigger every game time mod ticks per second equals 0 seconds. Essentially every 60 seconds. Every second rather. It's going to display a new number, and that's what's going to show here. And we'll see that in a second. Control D to display the debug information, and you see data equals a random number between 0 and 999, as I said. Now, you can use this if that's the range you want, but most of the time you're going to want a more confined range. In this case, -35 to 35. So, let's do that then. The next step is to divide it by 999.0. I like to use floating point numbers because it gives you a more precise number. You could always truncate this to an int using floor, or you could just not put the 0.0 at the end and keep it as an int. But for this tutorial, I'm going to put it as a float. And we're going to display this now. This displays a number between 0 and 1. And every number in between, because it's a floating point. That's primarily why I use a floating point, because I want those numbers in between. The math isn't going to work correctly if you're using ints. You need to use floating point numbers. That is why I use 0.0. So, as you can see, 0 to 1. Then, I'm going to multiply it by 70. And I'm going to put the random divided by 900.99.0 in parentheses. This isn't too important, but for this, it just helps it helps you identify the parts of the code. It shows you, okay, this is the first part times the second part, instead of just seeing one big block of code and not understanding what it does. And we'll display this now. So this generates a random number between 0 and 70.0, every number in between, as you can see. But what we want, our goal, is negative 35 to 35. So the very last step is to subtract 35 from this equation, and this will give our proper result. As you can see, it's giving some negative numbers there, 35, 3, 10. So this is your proper range. This is what you want. But you may be wondering how it got this far. Basically, by subtracting negative 35, I'm subtracting negative 35 not just from one number, but from every number in this range. And since our range right now, using what we have, was 0 to 70, by subtracting 35, it means I'm doing 0 minus 35, which is negative 35, to 70 minus 35, which is 35. And that's our range. Thanks for watching.
Now, if you didn't understand exactly what Alexei was telling you, basically the term random in Mugen is any value from 0 to 999. He prefers using point 0, so it's just there because he likes to use it. So now basically, since this is any number between 0 and 100 and 999, you divide it by 999 and you can only have 1 and a 0 back because you can't divide it by 0 and you can't divide it, you can only divide it by itself. So your answer becomes random divided by 999.0 is 1 and 0. Now you multiply that by 70 and 0 times any number is 0 and 1 times 70 is 70, right? So then you subtract 35. So 70 subtract 35 is 35. That's the positive number. Then 0 subtract 35 is negative 35. And that's the negative number. So now it works between the positive and negative 35 because of the values that I have here. You can always, if you don't understand what this code really does, you can just play around with the numbers, these two numbers here, and see what happens. I like the way he codes it. It made sense to me now that I think about it and all that. So I'm going to stick with that. Other minor things that I did was in the command file, I think. Yeah, I limited the amount of supers. See this one, I'm not sure if I did this in the previous video, I don't remember. However, trigger all equals number helper, which is the ID of the helper. That matches the same helper to not equal to 1. So this super can only be activated if the helper, which is the arrow, is not activated. If it is activated, the super cannot be done. This prevents the super from being done a second time and spamming. It prevents spamming altogether. Let's see. Grab. No. This. That. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else I really added here. I forgot what I did add though. I know it was mainly sound and stuff, but yeah, I don't think I really added anything else. Ha! Hey, I just shot you. That's her win quote. I wanted to make something corny from the "Call Me Maybe" song, but I couldn't think of anything, so I left this that. So I'm just gonna tag this. Let's see. Shelly from Draglade, made by Ryan. So that's a little tag I put there. Let's see the bottom file, nothing. Okay, the def file says crap. All that information. Let's put this up to date. 7, 8, good. Now, one thing I didn't show you before in the beginning was adding more palettes to her. As you can see, she's all blue and purplish. And if you look at her palettes here, if you can hit this button, it'll go back and forth between the palettes and the organizer. Group 1, Index 1, this is her first palette. These images here, Group 0, Index 0, etc. These are not her palette, these are actually from her effects. So I need to add a second palette. What I did with her was, due to color limitations, I guess, and my ability to rename the file wrong, I colored her palette red and gave her a purple bow, as you can see here. iDraw is easy to work with this stuff, so I could just double click the color box and pick a color, and it'll change all the sprites of that color. So I can make her like rainbowy. It'll look ugly as sin, but you know, it works. And this one. See, I mean that's hideous. But anyways, each palette, the way I do it, each palette will be one image of the character. So stance is blue, then this is supposed to be pal 2 is red. So when I go into here, I can just do this. Click add one or more palettes. Do you want to load the palettes from files? Yes. Then you look for the file. Shelly, 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 Shelly. Where are you hiding? Shelly. Then you find the image. Packle 2. This is going to be group 1, index 2. Okay. But all her sprites are just added and based off of 1 1. So they're all going to be 1 1. And 1 2 is going to be like that. So you can save the SFF here. Remember, if you're making a character for Mugen 1.0 and you're using SFF2 or SFF version 2, you don't save the palettes here. You save on the SFF file because all of your palettes are in the SFF file. So save sprites, and let's just check her out. Edit versus herself. And now you should see a blue Shelly on the left and a red Shelly on the right. See?
Get ready, fighters! Go for broke!
So see, all her sprites are still the same color. And she has a second palette, so that's good. That's kind of cool. Let's see how this works. That's kind of cool. Haha. That's fun. Anyways, I just noticed I didn't code her intro, so I should really do that. But anyways, this is part 10. I don't have to really explain how to code an intro. It's more or less the same thing as a regular animation. Let me see, what's her lose animation? I could just be lazy. Yeah, I'll use this, her win animation. Yeah, I'll play this backwards and have that. Now see, this is like pure laziness kicking in right here. That's why I'm doing this. So it looks like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We don't need -1 for the time because this is gonna go off to the stand state. So we'll use 5. This is our intro. See? Pulls out her belt. Let's make the first frame like 30 ticks. Yeah, so it's like that. Go to the intro state. Introduction, add a play sound. I'll just copy this one. Time equals 0 means right away. Volume scale, channel 0 for the voice of the character itself. Let me find a good voice for her. Okay, so let's see. Group 1 goes up to index 5. So let's try this. Group 1, random. Let me see. 0 times random. How did I do this before? Here we go. Okay, so it'll be from index 0 to index 5. This is kind of a complicated one because you have to know what mod does in coding, real coding as Alexei calls it, and then plus you have to know as well. A plus sign is not really what it says if there's a word next to it. So this code here basically plays voice clips from group 1, index 0 through 5. So I'll show you what that looks like quickly so you'll see her voice change over and over. See? It just kept playing over and over different clips. Let's make this longer so her voice finishes. And that's her intro. Does she have a win? Oh yeah, what is she? Yeah, she has a win. It's the same thing as the intro. Um, so overall, in the past 10 videos, including this one, I've explained how to rip sprites from the website. That's a PlayStation I'm gonna buy. Um, let's see, where is it? Draglade, Nintendo DS, Draglade. Okay, so from getting the sprites to ripping the sprites to adding the sprites in the SFF to making the animations of her. That's not a good example. To coding her attack states from simple play sounds to hit definition codes, which make her actually make contact with the hits, to the state def, which explains what the character is doing, how much power they get back, how much speed they have, what animation to play, and change stage, which lets you do combo ability stuff, or in my custom system, the bullet system, which lets me decide which attack I want to use. So that's basically the attacks there. I also explained how to code projectiles. Okay, I explained to do effects with Xplot, projectiles codes, what you really need and everything like that. Then I also explained helper codes, which are basic summon codes, the actual helper itself, and then a helper kill state. Then I did custom states with you all for basic grabs or throws or custom states, which is what this is used for. I forgot the command for this. Um, then I showed you a move where she slows down the air using an velocity mull. What does this mull stands for? You would think multiply, but then if you multiply something like this over time, it would be faster. But it kind of works the opposite direction in a way. It's strange, but this whole code here will just slow her down in the air so it looks like she's coming to a screeching halt. Then she fires the arrow and falls back. I also explain how to correctly code air moves. I explained how to write up commands in the command file that you want to be. What is this? Ice mine. I don't need this. I explained how to code commands, things you didn't need to just get rid of. How to draw her, how to limit her moves from being spammable, by using trigger alls, like trigger all power greater than 1000, meaning she has to have more than 1000 on her gauge through the super. The command, the state types, the helper numbers, all of that. Sound I explained recently in the previous video how to add. And all these sounds are from RPG Maker, by the way. Except that. Yeah, RPG Maker. The little organizer button here, which is an organizer. You can hit this auto button, it'll automatically line everything up in a proper number order from 0 to whatever. Palettes, I don't know how to use this button. I don't know what the hell this is. It's confusing the hell out of me. I'm not going to get into that. And the definition file, which is pretty much straightforward and simple. Now she has 2 palettes, so I'll put 2. Then for key, I'll be 1, 2, 1, 2. Because she has no palettes 3, 4, 5, or 6, I'm just going to put 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And when you fight her, the palette defaults means when you fight her, what palettes can she use? So I'm putting a 1 and 2 so the computer can use either one of the 2 instead of just 1, which is blue. And oh yeah, I also explained alignment of the sprites. As you can see, it only looks so simple. And I have some hit sparks, which I didn't really show much of, but it's hit sparks. Yeah. Now, thanks everyone for watching. Some people already started making characters already. Let me see if I can find you a couple of those topics actually. On my website mugenfreeforall.com, in the work in progress section, there are a couple of people who have posted some. That was very strange. So there are a couple of people who have posted topics, characters they're making based on my guide. And let's see, the Killinator and for a Elizabeth, and that's it right now. Yeah. So someone's making her. I'm not sure where she's from, and he's using my guide. And say when you're watching right now, and someone's making Elizabeth. And seeing these animations alone is just like amazing to me because it shows that people are actually following what I say and actually doing it, and it's just great. So I'm looking forward to these two characters based on my tutorial, and I wish the best for everyone in character creation. Shelly's gonna be released. Depending on the feedback that I get, I may post another video for her and showing the fixes and feedback and stuff. Or depending on the comments I get, I may make more tutorial videos. Just if you have an idea or you want to learn something and I happen to know it, hopefully I do, I will gladly make a tutorial for you, a video tutorial. As you've seen my previous one, I did a reversal, um, what's it called? A reversal hit definition for Kung Fu Man, which was requested by Laharl, as he goes by, which you can see on my YouTube channel right here. Reversal moves. And thank everyone for all the views. These views are great. It just shows that people are actually watching it. Honestly, I didn't think anyone would be watching it, to tell you the truth. Now that I showed you Shelly, and I'm going to release Shelly, by the way, right now. I'm going to show you another character I'm working on. That guy. Now, I just got lazy with alignment. I never aligned a high definition character before, so this is totally guessing for me. But yeah, I'll show you what he looks like in Mugen. He is meant for 1280 by 720, not this resolution. So it's
Get
kind of
ready,
small.
fighters! Go for broke!
Yeah, he has no 5000 really. He has nothing. He's just whatever you see here. And I don't know if I'll ever finish him, honestly. I was just testing it because I like this. I like this character from Persona 3. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. I hope everyone makes great Mugen characters. If you have any feedback on my tutorials, please post them on Mugen Free For All, Mugen Guild, or on YouTube. I am welcome to any suggestions. If you would like a tutorial, please contact me in some form or way. Contact me on Guild, Mugen Free For All, YouTube. Anyhow you can get to me, even my email. The email is going to be in the description below. Thanks for watching.